Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're coming to you with episode 269 of our numbered episodes on this board gaming podcast.
The nicest of episodes.
Yeah.
Until we get to episode 6,969.
I mean, I feel like if we make it just a 669, that will be good enough.
Could there be technologically possible 6,969 episodes of any podcast since podcast started?
I feel like there are some people that did like daily ones.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody did more than that.
So it would only be 20 years. Podcasts have been around more than 20 years, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
We'd be 19 years of daily, 7 days a week podcasts.
Yeah, podcasts have been around for way longer than 19 years.
It's not about that.
Been around.
But it's not even about that. It's that someone would have had to consistently do it for
Daily.
19 years. In the beginning.
Dude, there is some conspiracy guy who has done a daily podcast every day from the first day that you could do a
we could always
podcast.
dip into the history of podcasting Wikipedia page, previously known as audio blogs. They have roots in the 1980s.
But that's not.
Well, but if you double your time frame, so we only needed to go back 20 years of daily. So 40 years of every other day.
I would say that one right there, the RSS connection is like when it would first really.
Yeah.
So when was that?
That's
October 2000.
2000?
So that's 22
Yes.
years.
Yeah, so you've got like 400 days you could have missed.
Over 19 years.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's like 10 days a year.
10 days a year.
Yeah.
That's how many paid holidays I get a year. So there you go. Just make it your full-time job, no weekends, 10 paid holidays a year.
Apparently it was a New England Patriots.
Was the first?
Yeah.
Ugh.
PFW in progress. It was the first on-demand radio show and the first podcast.
Don't know what that means.
Patriots fan watch?
Yes.
Football watch?
Yeah.
Football watchers?
Something like that.
No. Damn you and your logic, Zach.
Patriots Unfiltered.
Oh,
It is
God.
today is still in existence.
Ooh, how many episodes that?
I don't know.
Oh, God, if it's that number that you said, I'm going to be real mad.
69. There's no way it is.
No.
There's no
Early
way.
aughts is what we're talking. So it could theoretically
Yeah.
be possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Now we
That's
know-
your engagement period. for
Now
this
we
episode.
know all the podcast histories. This is, I mean, at 269, this is your first episode of all of the history of the podcast.
That's true.
So
And it is 410 total, just as an FYI.
Oh.
So,
Wow, we're getting real close to 500 for total episodes.
I mean, that's 90 away, but yes.
I mean, did you ever think we'd get to 410?
No, 100% not.
500's right around the corner.
Yeah.
On that note, wow. 410, holy fuck. Anyway, let's talk about board games.
Okay.
we've hit start on a podcast 410 times.
No, he's hit it a lot more than that.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
way more. I think we have entire episodes that got lost due to recording issues, not to mention all the times
no,
we had
very
2 or 3
few.
times.
We had-
Very few.
Yeah.
Only one, I think, was total loss.
Yeah.
Others, we just restarted and went again
Yep.
and did it anyways.
Yeah. I want to
I
say,
feel like there's been some we went to edit and it was like, guys, there was something wrong with the audio and this is just trash.
I think
We still might have just thrown a warning in front of them.
yes.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
the audio is really bad, but we released this anyway.
It's not, it somehow isn't worse than it was in the very beginning. So, and those are official episodes still somehow.
This is your professional warning. It's about quantity, not quality.
Exactly. It used to be about quantity. Now what's it about?
It's still
It's
about
it's about
quantity.
MHDD instead of doing reviews.
I would do MHDD every other week.
No, it's about,
If we really wanted to do reviews, we've got an off week.
You're Mr. Editor for all of the reviews, by the way.
Which that's the real answer. Because I don't
Yes.
even edit MHDD.
Yeah. Oh, who does?
MHDD has not actually
I see.
released
It's just
an
not
episode
edited. I see.
No, it's just not even releasing.
Oh, really? It's just streaming.
It's just stream only.
Okay.
you don't even release it to YouTube just as
We're
the
going
stream.
to start doing that.
So you have a lot that are just lost to.
Oh no, I have all the files for
Oh,
them.
okay.
Yeah,
That's a lot of hard drive space.
the backlog is getting daunting because and it's one of those that's like, so I said we're going to talk about board games. Instead, we're going to talk about my crippling like anxiety over things.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one of those things when you put something off and then like it keeps getting added to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just makes you want to put it off more rather than deal with it because it keeps just getting larger and larger and more daunting. And so you keep putting it off and it keeps getting bigger.
Like debt?
Like debt. Like basically every problem I've ever had in my life, namely debt, mostly debt.
Yeah.
You know, it's
like, you know what? At least not car or medical issues.
no. Thankfully, I'm very healthy. I've not ignored
Yeah.
medical issues.
Yeah.
At least I think I'm very healthy.
Yeah. There's no way to know because you don't go to the doctor.
Well, the last time I went to the doctor for an annual checkup, he was like, "You're under 40. You don't need to do an annual checkup." And I was like, my insurance covers it, so
I'm doing
I'm
it.
gonna fucking do it, and
Yeah.
you're gonna suck it up and like it.
You want to put some fingers up there? Just, just in case.
We can get started early, man.
I'm into it.
My
I
fiance is an
just-
oncologist. I am terrified of cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to feel something.
In my butt. But you know what? As someone that recently watched The Boys season 3, oh boy.
Not the worst place they could have gone.
We'll come back to that in
Yeah.
Banter. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to talk about board games.
Yes.
We're going to move actually for sure onto board games now. Zach, would you like to start with what you've played this week?
Sure. First, I'll start on. Yes, we'll start on Saturday when Jeff and I and Thursby were seeing a movie that we can talk about later.
Yeah.
But after that, we went to Odell's and we played a game of the Grizzled, and that was 3-player. It was Paul.
Paul met us at Odell because we were very much, Paul, do not
Go see this
even
movie.
think about seeing this fucking movie.
Yep. But we played the Grizzled and we were playing hard.
3-player.
3-player. The last time we tried hard was at DBC with 4 players. And
Was it 4 or 5?
it was 4.
Okay.
It was the 3 of us, and then Sean got added to it.
I see.
Um,
Oh, that was the one where Wes was going to play?
yes.
And then was told he had to teach and play his copy of Architects.
Exactly.
Just because he ignored the chat conversation that led to that is not my fault.
Are you the oldest of this show, Adrian? I thought Jeff was older. Sorry.
I think I am slightly older.
When's your birthday?
April 19th,
March 7th,
85.
85.
Okay, then it is you.
Yes, by like
Okay.
a month.
Yes.
Okay.
Barely is
yes.
the...
But so we tried.
CJ is technically the oldest because he was born December 84.
CJ is not on the podcast.
But it is the
It is-
music you hear at the beginning of every
That's
episode.
true. That's true.
Anyway, moving on.
Continue with board games. How are we so distractible today?
ADHD that I don't treat. For me, that's my excuse. I
At
don't know what
at
yours
this point, does everyone have ADHD? Should we
Maybe-
just be pumping it into the air of all convenience stores? Like, just walk into the Walgreens for your ADHD medication air.
You know, so see, God damn it. I want to stay on topic, but at the same time, I feel like I have a lot of friends who have like ADHD and stuff that's like actually diagnosed.
Uh-huh.
And they talk about like all of these things. It's like, oh yeah, like isn't it funny when ADHD people do this? And I'm like, but I do that. And it happens like so much that at this point I'm like, I don't want to look into this anymore. It's way easier to just deny.
Yeah,
That's why you don't see a doctor every year, because then they're going to give you medication
that's
for
true.
Oh no, I'd be like, Zach, I wouldn't take it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have insurance and you could get.
Yeah, no, I talked to my doctor about it, and I'm like, it's not bad enough for me yet that I need it. I know some people that very much are like, they can't function without medication. So I just know. I know when I spiral, and my boss knows that when I say, hey, I'm spiraling, I need your help, she'll help. So that's all that's needed.
Do this or you're fired.
Yes, exactly. Anxiety, throwing that on there definitely helps.
Yeah. That solves the
Yeah.
or the ADHD
There you go.
problems.
Yeah. But anyway, the Grizzled, we were playing hard, and we did a lot better this time than we did with Sean.
Yes.
I'm not blaming Sean, but I'm also not blaming him because we had like over a dozen cards left when we finished hard, when we completed it. And
Yeah. I mean, certainly 3 is easier than 4, but it was we crushed it pretty well.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
a couple of hard spots in there, but nothing that was like insurmountable. It
No.
also helped the mission cards came out at pretty generously.
yes.
where we got like both of the easies, one or two of the normals, and then like two
then the
hards.
Yeah, and then the hards started coming.
And then the last hard we got was just like, I don't know, everyone lose their good luck charm. Oh, it's only one person? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But that was a lot of fun. I still haven't played We Care, and I know Paul is not going to play it, although...
No. He said he would play it.
You did? Okay.
He did then, when we were playing the Grizzled, say he would never play it again.
I'll see, because there was something we'd thought of that was like, if there was something we needed to try, because we think the rules are wrong or broken or something. And I think he said he would try it that way once.
Gotcha.
But I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yep.
I'd have to play it again the rules way. Remember what I thought was fucking stupid about it, and then try to fix it.
I see.
Okay. So that was on Saturday, but on Wednesday, at game night, I got there early, and I ended up Pat ended up showing up because he lives up in Longmont-ish area, and so
Wyoming.
Yeah, Wyoming. Yeah, that sounds better. And so the ones that are at least a little north he can go to. And so he showed up and he sat down, was looking to play something, and I was, when it's ever me and somebody else, I always ask them,
Hanamikoji?
Have you played Hanamikoji? And he's like, no. And then I'm like, okay, well, we're playing Hanamikoji. It went well. It went over 3 rounds. And the funny thing is, after the first round, it was like we each had 3 of we had the favor of 3 of them each, and then there was one we were tied on, so we had like 10 points and 9 points. But at the end of the set, how we played the cards in the second round kept everything exactly the same. We tied on the one that we had tied on previously. I had one, and how we had played either meant towards the end that we were going to switch all the things that we had to where I just took Pat's stuff and Pat took mine, or we stayed at exactly the same. And so we did that, which was amusing to see it actually play out.
Sure.
And then I ended up winning on the next round because in my hand I had, because we had split the 3 power ones, and I had all 3 of one of the colors for the 3, and then 2 of the other color 3, and then I drew the 3rd other color 3. So I had seen all 6 of those cards, and so I forced it to where they're all going to me, and then I just played for the tie everywhere else, and that ended up let me be the victor. And he had asked at the beginning, he's like, is it like Cutthroat? And I was like, oh yeah. It's one of my favorite moments in it that I always like to reference is when you and I were playing, Adrian, and you took your first 2 actions were the 3 and the 4, which is displaying cards, and then I choose, and then you get what's the remainder. And I chose the 1 and the 2, which is I just tuck a card away secretly, or I discard 2 cards away secretly. And so you're just like, you had this frustrated look, and you're like, Zach, you have seen everything that I have, and I have seen nothing of what you've had.
Yeah, it can be brutal.
Yes, yeah. But he really liked it, and I'm really looking forward to whenever the expansion for that gets released, especially with the mini expansions that I think are just new tiles, because I'm curious to see, because there's like 10 of them, so I want to know how different they could be.
Sure.
So, but that was the last game that I played solo. So you guys can talk about the other ones.
Okay. I'll go next. So I barely got to stop by game night. So I don't know if I've talked about it much on the show, how my car is dead and I don't have a vehicle right now. So Megan and I are sharing the Subaru. But I had the Subaru on Wednesday and Megan had to work, which means I have to go pick her up from work at like 7:30. So I wanted to see if everybody could go early, but nobody really spoke up about going particularly early. And so then I hemmed and hawed about going at all. And then by the time I decided to go, it was like, okay, well, I'll be there for like 45 minutes before I have to go pick Megan up.
Should have just lifted that day. Oh, I guess because you drive to work and you're driving back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lift to my job is like $50.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about your job. Yeah. I just meant from your house to D-Bolt.
Oh, yeah. No, I had the car so I could drive to and from work that day. Anyway, so I wasn't going to be there long. So originally I was just going to kind of hang out and have a beer and see what people were playing. But I got there kind of right at the tail end of that game of Hanamikoji you were talking about. And so somebody suggested, well, we could play a game or two of No Thanks. And I was like, yeah, that sounds perfect. I've been playing a decent amount of No Thanks recently. And so Pat hadn't played. So we taught Pat the rules. and then we fired it up and played
this
a game.
This is the new No Thanks with the nice little like black weird boba tea things.
Yeah, the giant
I'd say more akin to like the Go pieces.
Yeah.
Like in terms of their shape.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm just talking about black objects,
Yeah,
I
black
guess.
circular objects. Yeah. They're not made out of tapioca, so.
No.
They could be.
But they're not.
They when you hold them in your hand, you squish them. It'd just be a giant mess.
At one point or another, I think tapioca pearls were actually significantly hard to get and were very expensive. People were stealing them to like resell them to restaurants.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll believe you on that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tapioca. Anyone from San Francisco could probably enlighten us on the tapioca pearl shortage.
If only we knew people from San Francisco.
I don't trust people from San Francisco, so
it's the liberal left. That's why.
Anyway, No Thanks. So the first round of it, I ended up winning, pretty comfortably. I think Zach.
I got second on that one.
Was that the one you got second?
Yeah.
And then I don't know who got last, but it was by a substantial margin. And then it was one of those where it's like, okay, well that was quick enough. Let's play one more. That was a mistake.
Yes, it was.
Should have left while I was ahead.
I think I got second in that first game. No, third.
You got third. I got second on the.
Yeah.
And then
But that second game.
The second game, Jeff had the most ridiculous run of cards I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's like 22 to 29?
22 to 28.
28.
Yeah, and you got like the 22 and the 28, and then you got like something in between, and it was like, it seemed like you were making I'll connect one of the two, not I'll connect both of them.
Yeah.
And then somehow you managed to connect both of them, and especially sucked at the very end of the game when it was like the last three cards, and it was like, oh, well, there's a 27. Great. Like, and Jeff was like, all right, well.
I think it was 27, 28, and then 22, and I had already connected everything else, and it just gave me more points, really.
That could have been.
Yeah.
And no one wanted the 27 or 20.
Ridiculous.
And I had taken the 28,
and then
no one wanted the 27 or the 26, so I was just like, give it a round, give it a couple rounds. Like, no one else is going to take this shit.
Ridiculous.
And I just had so much shit in my hand. I had, 22, and then I got my score down to 3.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. I've never seen I've seen like 4 and 5 streaks, but never like 7, which is the cards are 4 through 31s or 34 or 35. Sorry, so that's 31.
3 through.
I thought it was 4.
No, it's 3.
Is it 3?
Because so I played it again on Thursday, and I told somebody, oh, it's 4 through 35, and then almost immediately flipped to 3, and they went. I said, guys, you don't know this yet, but when it comes to things I say, trust but verify.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't trust and verify. There is no trust. I did take a picture of my wonderful score, which I will post in the Slack. I had a score of 20 with 17 chits, giving me a score of 3.
Fucking just disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting.
So that was 20 through 28 then?
20 through 28, yes.
There's 9 of this, so it's 3 through 35, so that is 33 cards, 9 of which we take out in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that is
like, it shouldn't have been
24.
possible. It shouldn't have been possible for that chain to exist,
exactly.
Let alone for one person to get all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. That game seemed pretty easy. I just take all the numbers that I need and then dominating victory.
So played 2 games of No Thanks there, and then Thursday I was hanging out with some friends for the Avs game who aren't really like big into gaming. And after the Avs game was over, well, actually that's not true. Like one of them is like he's very much a gamer, but afterwards they were like there were some friends there who weren't, and it was like, okay, well, what can we play? And I was like, well, I brought some small games in my car. I'll go get them. And one of them was No Thanks, and we played a hand or 2 of No Thanks there, and it was definitely learning the game and getting sucked into the like, oh, well, the 35 has 6 buttons on it, like 6 chips on it. I should take that. And it's like, no.
Maybe till it has like 12 to 20.
Yeah. I did get to see a guy take the one card that would have, like, his wife had like a set of 3 and a set of 3 and then like a gap in the middle. She would have made like a Jeff run. And he took the middle card, like, not because he needed to, but because he knew she was going to take it on, like, when it came around. And oh boy, it's like one of those moments where you see into another relationship and it's like, wow, you're like that, huh? All right. After, so the No Thanks was the only thing I played at game night. Or no, it's not, because I came back. I picked up Megan and she was like, hey, let's go back to game night. I'll have a beer. And I was like, okay. So we went back and we ended up playing Floriferous. I think that's how you pronounce it. Floriferous,
yeah.
Floriferous. It's a silly little game about trying to build flower arrangements and some like garden structures and things like that. Really simple mechanics and things. I liked it. I ended up winning, which always helps my first impression of a game. It was close though. Megan and I think it was Kyle. I played with Greg and Kyle, who are brothers who, for a long time, I thought were twins. Turns out they're 2 years apart.
Yes, they are just siblings.
They are just siblings. Yeah, like I think third and fourth came down to tiebreaker. But it was fun. I liked it. It's simple enough. It's one of those like it's a good one for like a quick game night game or like to teach somebody who's fairly new to games. It's got a nice theme. Like Megan was pretty burnt, brain dead, like worn out from work. Turns out 12 hours of nursing in an ICU will do that to a person. So she was like, I don't want to think when I play the whatever game we play. It was like Floriferous even says it like a relaxing flower game or something, like is one of its like little taglines. I was like, well, how about this? And she was like, okay, that sounds nice. So yeah, it was good. I like that there's like a bunch of different ways to score points that kind of feel like you could do different things. You obviously need to do a little bit of everything, but it wasn't hard to do that. And yeah, it takes up a little bit of space for what it is, but yeah. And then going back to that Thursday thing after game night, that was the other thing I played at game night. And then Thursday after I taught them, after we played No Thanks a couple times, we played Skull. And I think we only played one game of Skull, maybe two. Megan got an immediate flip of her tile, like on the first round on like something stupid, like 5 of 6. She correctly estimated that all 4 of the new players would place a flower, and got herself a flip. And then I got one pretty shortly after that. But then both Megan and I slowly whittled away our things, like moving the game around and trying to make it fun. And ended up losing our tiles, and it came down to a 1v1, which I don't often see. Like out of a 6-player game, 4 people just like lost all their tiles.
Right.
And it came down to a 1v1, and it was that same couple where he had stolen the middle card from her thing in No Thanks. He ended up correctly realizing he had 3 tiles. She still had all 4 of hers because she was playing very conservatively. But very, like, she'd played her Skull a lot. She had fucked a lot of people. And so he did a weird bid or something where like basically he was going, like, he won, or like she could have overbid. Like I don't remember what it was, like how he exactly did it, but it was one of those things.
Was it where like he had 2 tiles out and he said 2, but if she raised it, or like then he could have said pass and then she would Skull herself or something like that.
It was essentially something like that. And she was like, wait, you won? What? Like, it was like, yeah, it was like the only thing you could have done to avoid that would have been like
2 flowers on there. Yeah.
And he just clearly knew a little bit more game theory than she did, or just caught on to the vague strategy there. But it was a bunch of fun. That was all I played this week. It was a bunch of fairly light games. I almost had a game of Oath going, but that fell apart at the last minute. So, but I've got like 7 people I think on my list now who are interested in Oath, and it plays pretty good at 4 to 6. It's got pretty good recommendation, like reviews on BGG for 4 to 6. So I think I'm going to use those 7 and just get a group and play with that group, and they can kind of rotate out, and we'll just update whoever's like coming in on like what's changed. So that way it's like the same people. And that kind of continuing story of different factions rising into power can kind of play out still.
Are there more factions than there are people?
No, but you don't always play the same faction.
Okay, all right.
Like, especially if you play like a 3-player game versus
it's
a
about
5-player
being
or
the
whatever.
like emperor, and then people that are with the emperor and people that are against the emperor.
Mhm.
That's the general gist. of
Yeah,
the
there's
factions.
citizens and exiles, and then
Yeah.
like if you're a particularly good citizen, you can become the successor
Yes.
to where you'll be the emperor in the next game if you meet whatever the goal is.
Yeah. Can the emperor ever like stay the emperor?
Yes.
Okay.
If they prevent somebody from becoming the successor, then
I see.
then the emperor's like line continues, and it's
Okay.
not like somebody swoops in.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I from people who like Root and those kind of games, like whose opinions I value on these things, they all love Oath.
Gotcha.
I do think it's a game that there's a niche for it. Like not everybody's going to love Oath. There's a huge thread on the Oath BGG page that somebody who's like, how do you guys get people invested in Oath? Because I fucking love it, but everybody I play it with, like I introduce it to them in one game in, they're like, meh. So, but that's it for me. Jeff, what else did you play this weekend?
Everything else I played was at the game night after No Thanks. We played Matryoshka, which is very good. We played with Zach's like shitty copy, I guess.
Yes.
Jeez, Zach.
Mhm.
I
So
didn't.
why,
I
why
didn't-
is your copy shitty?
I had
Is it
bought
just
a
the-
copy. I had bought a copy.
It's an
not-
older edition,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
Yeah, and like the newer publisher, it's like the magnetic class box, but also the art is different, where it's not just the Matryoshka doll, but bigger and smaller. It's actually like
It has the nesting parts.
it has
in
the nesting, so it gets smaller, and you can see the
Oh.
nesting in it.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Where the other one is just the graphic gets smaller.
Yeah, and it's the colors are like a little bit brighter. The symbols are a little bit bigger. It's just a little bit easier to read.
Yeah,
And figure out.
more accessibility
Yeah,
on
exactly.
the cards.
The scoring cards are a lot better too.
Yes.
So
But we played Matryoshka because Matryoshka is a great game.
It is.
Either way.
I don't know. I really felt like asking if you wanted to play, Jeff, and then finding 2 other people so that you couldn't play.
Yes, thank you. Uh-huh.
But that was too much hassle.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. This was what Pat,
And Wes.
you, and myself.
Correct.
So we put out our first like 4 card because it's like 4, 9,
It's
12.
No, it's 4. It's 4, 6, 8, and then 13.
Oh yes, because that's the final
Yeah.
scoring. So my original hand was just kind of like all over the place, and I was like, I don't know, 2s. And then I ended up getting lucky on draw for like a whole set, which I then put down in the next round and just got like handed something.
Pat was being real nice to you for some reason.
Yeah,
so.
I guess. I was like, yeah, sure, just kind of give me set, please.
Pats are notorious friends of Jeff's. Like that's just a law of nature that Pats will always aid a Jeff.
I don't know if I've had any like Pat friends.
Clearly, you haven't. Clearly,
Yeah.
you haven't been doing a good job of being a Jeff.
Yeah.
You haven't had a Pat
clearly.
looking
yeah,
out
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Pat. I guess you're
and
not
I-
Jeff's friend.
No, no. Like, I mean, just like grade school, high school, you know, history. of
Sorry, middle
friends.
school Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there was any fucking Pats. Was not a very
Ugh.
popular Illinois.
It would be really
name.
funny if, for whatever
Illinoisian.
reason, Pat was like somehow knew you in middle school.
Yeah, I don't think he's from like Oswego, Illinois. So I think I'm gonna be all right.
It'd also be really funny if CJ was like, Jeff, you should know that my first name is actually Pat.
His
And I
first
go,
name
"My-
is actually Clayton.
But he goes by Pat.
News to me.
It's Clinton Patrick Jackson.
Yeah, that's what the J stands for. It's a silent J in front of the P.
Mhm.
CJ, you never know. Like if somebody's like first name, middle name, you never know.
Yeah, the J is John, which is his middle name.
I
Probably
don't
if
know
it's your
that.
best friend for 20 plus years, you would probably know at that point.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
assume so.
I know things.
Maybe the P's hide underneath his beard. You don't know.
Yeah, he kind of cut off the beard not too long
Oh, he
ago.
did?
Yeah,
Oh.
it comes and goes. Anyways,
It grows and then it gets.
Wow, we are in fine form tonight.
we have no Kickstarter, so we got to
Yeah.
kill time.
Yeah. We still got to make it farther than 7:30 just so it fucks with you. That's we're just vamping.
Oh yeah. Now I know there's a goal.
Yeah. We're vamping in more ways than one.
Yes, we're really morbing it up.
I love that failed.
I'm so
Hard.
happy
Ugh.
that they were like, oh, it's turning into a meme now.
Yeah.
We can re-release it and get $85,000 for that whole
Yeah.
re-release.
Yeah. Or there's a trend on TikTok too where it's just like there's a guy, or it's just like one that went a bit viral. The guy's like, well, I just saw Morbius, and then it cuts to a extremely sped up version of Morbius, so the entire movie plays in like a second or two. And he's like, and you have two now. It's just like, God damn it! I got morbed and I didn't even realize it.
No. Boo! My subconscious knows that I've watched this movie.
Exactly.
Focus. We have to focus.
Matryoshka was played, and I think did I end up with a full 1-7 set?
You did, because I was telling you, I was like, I need one specific card from you.
I gave you a significant amount of points for me getting an even more significant amount of points.
It was, I think I got more points out of it, like, but it still helped. It didn't help me catch you.
Yeah.
It was like I got 8 or 9 points out of it, and you got 5 or 6.
Yeah,
out of that one.
Whatever that 6 to 7 points difference is. I think it's like 22 to 27, maybe.
No, I think it's 19. You get 19 with 3 extra, so it's 22 versus 6 and 2. So it's 4 points more. And that one let me go because the card you gave me was like the 5, so it connected multiple things, whereas I gave you the 7, which was just the tease at the end.
Yeah, but I still won.
You did, yes.
I did. I think Pat did extremely poorly for his first play.
But I can see that happens with a good amount of people.
But now he knows. And then we played Cascadia after that, and I lost by a significant margin.
Yeah, you are playing Cascadia when Megan and I got back.
Yes. Got the Cascadia going.
Which had fucking... At the end of the game, when we were doing the final scoring, for majorities, or like whoever has
biomes.
For the biomes, if you get first point when you're playing with 4 people, the first point, or if you have the most amount, you get 3 points. Second most, you get 1. But if you tie, then that goes down by 1. So if you tie for first, each person gets 1 point instead of one person getting 3.
Sure.
If you tie for second, everybody gets 0. And I tied for second 4 of them.
Yeah, you did. Which helped me because I think I got first on like 3 of them, but I still got last.
I thought if somebody gets first alone and then you tie for second, you still got 1 each.
No.
No?
No.
No.
Very unfriendly.
Yes,
and if you tie for first, no one gets second.
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah. But Wes ended up pulling the win on that one, and I was a couple points behind him. And it
was like only 1 or 2.
Yeah.
It was like 92, 93.
Exactly. And so all of those ties caused me to not win. Which is fine.
You just clearly needed to do 1 tile better in any one of those.
Apparently, yes.
Yeah, that was correct.
Yeah. But Pat also liked that too.
Yeah, so. Cascadia is great.
Cascadia is great. That's why. And that's all the games I played.
Okay.
Same for me.
I did get in the mail recently. So You've Been Eaten, which is 2-player.
Oh, I remember that one.
Miner monster, and then you are mining out the monster's guts that you have been eaten by. But it also has an AI for either the miner or the monster. So much so that you can play the miner versus the monster AI. It could literally be a 0-player game.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yes, but that is in my possession.
I want to play that. Yes. Very much so.
Yeah. We'll fuck around.
I also want to play AI monster versus AI miner.
Yes.
Just fucking root them on.
Yeah.
Dude, we should take bets.
Exactly.
Like, just turn it into a fucking gambling game. I wonder if they're legit balanced to where, like, they win in equal amount.
I don't know.
Otherwise, we might have to just set odds.
Exactly.
Well, I'm sure we could make a spreadsheet and find out.
Yeah.
I'm sure Paul can get on it. That's what he does for a living, right? Make
spreadsheets. First, we would need to have some sort of data in terms of played games, though, in order to find that out.
Okay. We can make that happen, too.
Jeff, quick, do 100 games of AI versus AI, make the notes, and then we'll take that data and compile it.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
All right. That's your assignment for next week.
Yeah, nothing's going on this week at work. Like no one being there because they're on vacation.
Exactly.
Or
so you can just do it
the
at
other
work.
guy quit and went off to a new job. So it's literally only 2 of us for the whole department.
Was the guy who quit one of the shitheads?
Not really.
Oh,
I don't know.
thought you had somebody you didn't
Sometimes.
like.
Sometimes.
There was
Well,
one
I
guy I
think-
didn't
I
like.
think that
but
guy
he-
got fired.
He did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy.
The guy that said
racist.
one too many
racist,
racist things. Yeah.
Yeah. One too many.
Yeah.
We got a racist guy fired at work recently.
That's
too.
good.
Yeah.
And then he like totally denied it at the like HR boss meeting, and it was like multiple people have heard you say this, dude. Like,
See, I'm glad ours didn't even like get to that point. Like the guy who said something, the person he said it to brought it up as just like, hey, he said this. I wasn't super cool with it. Like if we could maybe give him some like instruction. And the company was just like, nope, 0 tolerance, fucking fired.
That's
like,
good.
Hot damn.
yeah, and this one was already on a like final
Thin
within
ice.
his first 90 days. Literally, he got written up from activities he had done day 5.
That's fucking crazy.
When you get hammered in the tap room and be a dick to everyone, yeah, they're going to be like, hey, HR, this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah. Like at any job, how are you not like on your best behavior for like the first, I don't know, month?
Yeah.
Let alone a brewery drinking after work.
Yeah.
Like, God.
His literally
Anyway.
first Friday.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's it for games played.
Yes.
Now we can move on to
I've already
Banter.
written banter on there, so,
Yeah, so I like to at least announce the official
Gotcha.
transition.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to, because I forgot to mention this last week. I saw Top Gun Maverick.
I wanted to see it this
It's
weekend, but I
probably
didn't get to.
second favorite movie of this year so far.
Which is crazy.
I know.
Did anyone expect this to be as good as it is?
I mean, they
yeah.
knew,
I mean,
how, they
I
knew
don't
how
know.
good it was, so they delayed the release
Yeah.
for years.
I didn't like. Granted, I don't know how good it is because I still haven't fucking seen it.
I
Which
have
I'm
not
starting to. I'm almost more mad that I want to see a Top Gun movie than that I haven't seen apparently one of the best movies of the year. It's just not fair.
It's so for me, I rated it like an 8 out of 10 when I saw it. I have a feeling I might see it again sometime soon and it might go higher, but it's like the first half was enjoyable, but the second half is holy shit. It's what you want that movie to be. Like the best version of what that movie is.
See, the problem is like based off of watching Top Gun,
Uh-huh.
right? I have no idea what I would want a Top Gun movie to be.
You would want them to do dogfighting, but to actually feel like you're watching people doing dogfighting.
You're not wrong. I guess you're not wrong.
If
All
it
I know is
helps-
the Navy probably got their money's worth at their $36,000 an hour charge that
do you,
they use.
do you want me to color it for you a little bit to give you a better sense of what it is, or do you want to go in
No, I'm
blind?
going to go in cold.
Okay,
I'm
all
gonna
right.
go in cold.
Okay.
So
How about you, Jeff? Because I can just tell you right now, Adrian, don't listen. I'll just tell you right.
There's a guy
Son of
named
a bitch.
Maverick.
Yeah.
Are there aircraft carriers?
There is 2 aircraft carriers.
There's 2 aircraft
It's-
carriers.
There should be more. There's only like 7 in the world.
Yeah.
Well, in the U.S. Navy.
Is there a motorcycle?
Yes.
Cool.
Is there any volleyball?
No.
There is no volleyball?
No.
Wow.
I
Is
think
there's
there
something
some
com- there's
other?
something
Is there some
comparable.
other
Yes.
homoerotic beach sport?
Yes.
Well, although I thought I saw in one of the trailers that it wasn't nearly as homoerotic
Well,
and that there were also women playing.
I mean,
this time.
yes.
I mean, it could be, but it's just it's just everyone.
Yeah, there's something for everyone.
Yes.
Yes, that's all I really want.
As all things should be.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Something for everyone in your Top Gun movie.
Yep.
Is there a piano bar scene?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Now, if you keep asking stuff, then I'm not going to say
All
it
right,
anymore.
all
Does
right.
anyone get carried out in some sort of love scene?
I'm not going to say anything.
fun fact about that movie: all of Val Kilmer's lines were done by an AI because he can no longer speak because of a neurological disorder.
No,
It's
no,
also-
because
but-
he had throat cancer that fucked up and
Yeah,
I
but
thought it
now,
was
but but now I know that Val Kilmer has lines in that movie instead of just a picture in the trailer.
I'm definitely conflating him with Bruce Willis, who has speech aphasia.
Yes.
That is also why he stopped doing any real movies
correct.
and started just phoning everything in.
Yeah.
For millions of dollars
For
a day.
millions of dollars.
A day.
Yeah.
They spent most of their budget on getting Bruce Willis to show up to set.
Yes.
All right. Well, since he's here and asking specifically about it,
Oh,
would
no.
you two like to talk about
no.
Crimes of the Future? Body horror.
It is
HR
famously
Geiger.
known as COTF on the internet.
CotF.
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 CotF. Not to be confused
this
with
is-
Kafka.
So this is a Cronenberg movie, and it is a very Cronenberg movie.
Yes,
I said HR Geiger. I
but
meant Cronenberg.
I mean, it does have a lot of Giger stuff.
Is it pronounced Giger?
Yes, it is Giger.
Mm.
It does have a lot of Giger stuff in the
Kafkaesque,
movie.
Yeah.
It is super weird.
Yeah.
The bone high chair will haunt me for many years
yeah.
to come. That's going to be at like cons for
Yeah.
people to sit in for like $75
Yeah.
a picture or something like that.
The noise of it moving was just
Yeah.
unsettling.
See, you said bone high chair. Fleshy
It is not
high
fleshy.
chair.
It is not fleshy.
makes
It is pure bone. There is no fleshy.
The fleshy it was a fleshy bed.
So
The fleshy bed. Yes.
So Thursby is in chat, just for listeners who are unsure where some of this disagreement is coming from. Thursby went and saw it with you guys.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And he's in chat.
He was the one that recommended we all see it,
Yeah.
including his wife.
Yes. Who will no longer take recommendations from him.
I get to choose a lot of movies. You're going to see Cats. You're going to like it. Facts. Yes. Yes, I know.
It's one of those things. Like the only question I have, Thursby, was it worth it? Like, was it worth it?
It was so weird.
It was.
It was like in a future of undeterminate amount of time, this low budget movie filmed in the ruins of Turkey somewhere or something like.
Wait, is the movie a low budget movie filmed in Turkey? Like
I believe
the actual movie, Crimes of the Future.
Yeah.
I think yes, it is very low
Oh,
budget, and
okay.
it was very like ruinous.
I didn't know
like-
if that was the shtick.
No,
kind
no,
of
no.
Like,
They don't say when it is. They don't say where it is.
Yeah.
They don't.
It's
like,
just
this,
a future.
This may not be Earth. There's no way to know.
Yeah, where you can't really like illness isn't really a thing, or
Infection
Yeah.
is not a thing. Pain is not a thing.
Hmm,
Humanity has evolved to where there is no pain and there are no infections.
weird.
yeah,
But then it steps into like what is human, what is evolution, what is the next step, what does this?
how does that relate to art? How does that? Yeah,
And it's all from the viewpoint of an artist. Like, what is art at this point?
You guys
And,
are selling it, which is weird. I
what?
didn't expect that.
But maybe that art is cutting someone open live in front of an audience and taking out their weird organs.
Thank you.
that they're-
That's what I was looking
Yeah,
for.
and taking
a
out-
reason not to see it.
yes, and taking out their weird new organs that
Yeah.
they're
well,
spontaneously growing.
and one person had said it was like a line in there is that surgery is the new sex,
Yes,
and so
Twilight Lady.
yes,
Yes,
Kristen Stewart,
yes,
who did a really good job in it.
yeah. She played a super weird.
She's
Yeah.
been super great
Oh,
in a lot
she's-
of things
And
lately.
she's ultra weird in this.
No. Yeah.
Basically, everyone except Taylor, whatever his
Yes.
fuck name is, has been great since
Oh
Twilight.
yeah. Yeah, and she definitely took this as some small role to just play some super weird, fucked up
Which-
character,
that's what she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like very mousy, like bureaucrat
Well,
at the organ registration facility.
Yeah.
like
well, and I'll say this too. Something real like fucked up happens in the very beginning, and then they just don't acknowledge it for like a half hour
or more.
Yeah, you know, until you find out how it actually relates to the plot. You're just
Yes.
like every time
and
I'm
it's
watching,
this
I'm
we-
like, but what about?
And then it's this weird like B plot
Yeah.
through the whole thing.
Yes,
Wild.
Yeah, it was so fucking weird.
I still kind of want to see it.
It was fine.
Because I don't.
I will say
But
this.
it's like uncomfortable in parts that are just like, holy fuck.
I have a feeling if I was watching by myself, there are one or two, like at home, there are one or two times that I might have just been like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
Just turned off.
totally.
So
Because there was parts where it was just like the part in the alley where he comes out of the other place and is
Yeah.
like, I got this going on. And she's like, yeah, all right, let's do this.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, God. But it was like funny in that where like,
but like it's an uncomfortable funny sort
yeah,
of thing.
yeah. Like because like sex, they reference it as old sex. They like no one does the old sex anymore. They like cut each other up with fucking knives. Like that's the only way they can even do it anymore. It's fucked.
Which, like, just given the basic premise of like, there's no pain. Well, I guess, no pain.
Yeah.
But like, what's even the point of because there's pain is a huge part of sex.
It's
now.
like you don't feel the pain. You feel something else.
Yeah.
And feeling that something else is what's like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like there's like a lot of kink now involves pain.
Yes.
Because like it's something different than the pleasure side of it. So okay, it makes sense that like, oh, there's no pain, there's other.
Yes.
Sure.
And this is other to the extreme.
Sure.
But it's all in the eye of this artist that's like, and like the real like superstars of this.
Now you didn't need to say
Well, I'm not going to say that. Wasn't going to spoil that.
Yeah.
Just a movie, but we're done now.
Yeah.
What's the name of it again?
Crimes of the Future.
Crimes of the Future.
It's in theaters right now.
Yes. David Cronenberg
We're done
movie.
talking about it, Allison. You
Yeah.
can stick around.
Yep. Yeah, I was trying to be a bit more
Yeah.
vague about the
Vague about
about the grossness that's in this movie. But at least it's
God
only in
damn
chat.
it, there's
It's only
yeah.
in chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was super weird and interesting, but like, ew. But that's David Cronenberg. I mean, The Fly.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Also,
all of
there's
History
a
of
lot of
Violence.
mumbling in the movie, so
Yeah, not great sound for
that's
overall.
disappointing.
Lot of-
But if it's fairly low budget, makes sense.
yeah.
All right. Well, now that we've had like a 30-minute digression about Crimes of the Future,
It's only like
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
it felt like longer.
Yeah, the movie did too.
Yes, it did.
See, there you are, like keeping me away from watching.
Yes.
I don't know where I am on watching
Yeah,
this movie
it's,
now.
it's so weird.
Turn it on, and then as soon as you're just like,
I'm done.
I'm done. It's
So I might just watch it at home.
yeah,
And-
exactly.
But if you watch it at home, you have the opportunity to stop watching.
Yeah, it's
which
true.
You,
I'll
if you
probably
see it in
come
the
back. Well, I
yeah.
might come back.
in the
I don't know.
theater, you do not have really.
Yeah, you're in.
that
You're in it for the whole ride.
I have
Yeah,
walked
unless
out
it's
of
just
theaters.
like, unless it's just like, I'll see you in the bar later. Like,
Yeah, I have
what-
walked out of, especially
Yeah.
something like Alamo, where there's literally a bar I can go drink in while I wait for my friends. Anyway, Stranger Things, so far, so great. I'm only on episode 5. They dropped all of them. I haven't.
They have not dropped all of them.
Well,
There are two more episodes.
Well, so this is what I'm confused about, because people keep referencing like part 1, part 2. So
Yes.
they dropped 7 episodes.
8 and 9 will be part 2 in July.
Right, but granted, I haven't seen. But is there like, is it like a part 1, part 2 where there's
I don't
closure
know.
at
I don't
7?
know. I'm not.
Have
there.
you not finished?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I have not.
So I have assumed that
I think
7.
I'm also on 5 or 6 or something.
I have
like
assumed that
so.
7 would kind of offer a little bit of closure, and then 8 and 9 come back later to open and close, kind of bookend. Like, I assume this is the end.
Yes, this is
Mhm.
the final.
So I assume that that's what 8 and 9 is almost a like 7
Well,
is
they're
the
like
end of
an
season
hour
4, and then
40
8
and then
yeah,
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So they're basically like
2 movies that
four
wrap,
episodes in the last 2
Yeah,
in
2
length. So
basically 2 movies that wrap up the what happens after.
yeah,
Like, I assume that 7 offers a relative conclusion.
I doubt it.
Really?
I bet the climax will be in that 8 and 9.
Oh, I hope not.
I bet it will be at the beginning of 9, in fact.
I hope not.
Oh, well, it's only
We'll see.
July.
Yeah, it's only July.
It's
It's
only
not
a
that
month.
long.
It's only a month away.
Still haven't seen any of it. So
Yeah. I wanted so well, I guess boys. There was something else that I thought that I wanted to touch on from shows and movies and things recently, but I can't think of what it was. So let's just The Boys.
I've only seen episode 1 so far.
Okay.
I saw all 3 yesterday.
I started with episode 1, and then I got Rage Quitty at V Rising, which I'm sure we'll talk about. And so then I just binge watched 2 and 3 right after it at midnight.
Sure.
But episode 1 has a scene very early in it that is just emblematic of the entire show.
Yes.
Yeah, they've got their Ant-Man
Called Termite.
Called Termite.
Yep. But they have their like tiny world scene.
Yep.
Like
He shrinks down.
yes, he does.
To do sex stuff.
and also like coke and
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of everything
lots
else.
of cocaine. Well, he didn't shrink down for the coke. He was full size.
No,
when he did
yeah,
coke.
that's true.
Yeah.
He did have to step over the lines of coke.
He
in his
jumped over the lines.
Yes,
Yes.
hurdled
Yep.
over the lines of coke.
I don't. To be fair, though, everybody keeps referencing a Belushi amount of cocaine. The amount of cocaine that was present in that scene, I think Belushi could have just handled that. I don't think that.
But,
I
like,
think it's the
size-
fact that it was size
He was a tiny person.
Okay, so once he gets put in the
Yeah.
baggie as a tiny person,
yes,
yes,
yes.
then you reach a Belushi.
and
Yeah.
then the shake, shake,
Relative.
shake.
Yeah, just keep shaking him. Just keep shaking him.
Yeah. Like your bread and a chicken.
Yes, in cocaine. Has anyone ever tried to deep fry cocaine? Anyways, there was things that were,
That you should remain vague.
let's say, like whale internals levels of practical sets.
Yes.
They used a practical set. So when
Yes.
you watch Boys episode 1, or if you
And
have,
because it's in the little
It's
like
practical.
weird side X-ray
Tunnel.
thing. The well, you know the little X-ray thing they do on Amazon where
Yeah.
it has all the weird like fun facts, details, and stuff.
Yep.
Ah.
They had like a detailing of the practical set.
I didn't know that was a thing. I might rewatch all 3 episodes with that.
You can always
running.
just look up all. They have like all the X-ray stuff listed
Yeah,
separately. You
cool.
can just read through, but it'll reference like, oh, this is a character from the comics, or this is the final set that this producer made, and because he had passed away in the last 2 years or something
Huh.
like that. But that set was the last set that man had made as being a practical set designer for his whole life.
Great.
Yeah.
That
But, I mean,
is
he
a moment
did-
to go out on.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, he did the whale set as well,
Which was also great.
yes.
Logistically, watching that scene, I don't think that the end outcome would have been what it was given what happened.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So it ends with a man ripped in like basically half.
More than half. Like,
Yeah.
like the bottom of your sternum.
Yeah, and I don't see how that could have possibly happened given where they were in the act.
Yeah.
When the things happened.
Yeah. I think there would have been damage, but
Significant.
just not maybe bisection.
yeah, I don't.
It could have just been his angle of how the guy was
the
standing.
angle of the
Well,
dangle.
Well, no,
Someone's-
how he was standing, so that like if he was leaning a bit back, or
You know,
I-
there's
you
no
know,
way
he
to know. There's no way to
sneezed.
know.
So there's an angle in the sneeze, but also like
no, I mean the other guy.
the other guy seemed to be just like on a desk. So
Oh,
So yeah, boys.
holy shit.
Yeah, it started off with a
with a bang.
Megan came home and she's like, "What have you been doing?" I was like, "Well, I watched The Boys episode 1." She's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "It's the like dark superhero thing." She's like, "Oh, I don't think I've seen that." I was like, "Yeah, you have. Like, you saw episode 1 and then said you didn't want to watch it anymore." She's like, "Oh, the really gory one." Yeah. I was like,
Continues to be that. Yes.
I saw and I described that scene and she was like, "But why?"
Yeah, and so then he's tiny and trying to attack someone else that catches him, and then he's like crawling up his pant leg.
to
He's like,
Thanos
he's trying to get up my ass.
Yeah.
And then all I could think about was
Thanos?
and Ant-Man.
See, it's interesting. Like, so I was thinking of, has anybody seen, well, have either of you, I guess, have either of you seen the older movie Evolution with David Duchovny?
Yes.
absolutely.
So that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Like, it's going for the ass. Take the leg. Take the leg.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the first 3 episodes. It goes some places.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
I'm torn on how I feel. So we just talked about Stranger Things and we're talking about The Boys. I'm torn on the release everything all at once versus the episodic. I think I do prefer episodic. Like, it gives me more time to digest a given episode, talk about it with friends like for a week,
Yeah.
And
and
I
then
think
watch the next one.
companies do too, because if you dump it all at once, maybe you have like a week or 2 of hype,
And then that's it.
Yeah, oh,
Where
yeah.
this, you have like months of.
Which I'm sure is why Stranger Things is pushing off those last 2 episodes for.
I think it was
a couple
actually
months.
production issues. Was
Oh,
why
really?
Because they couldn't. The other 2 episodes just weren't done yet, so they pushed them off.
Well, it's
and
going to probably work out very well for them.
It will absolutely.
Because I was trying to decide like between like I do like the drop a few early like and
That's what
Amazon seems to
Amazon
be doing
does.
that. They do 3
That's
and
what
then
they did with The Expanse. They would just be like,
Wheel
"Here's
of-
the first 3
they
episodes."
did it with Wheel of Time,
Disney did that with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So.
which I still haven't watched any of Obi-Wan. because I think it's one Megan might actually like. And
and it's also just
it's
too
such a
many
pain.
fucking things are being
There's
released.
so much right now.
So,
and new video games. You guys fucking got me into V Rising,
mm-hmm.
and then I rage quit our server on V Rising, but then I loaded up a solo game, and I'm still really enjoying it. So,
I mean, maybe just you and Megan play or something like that.
well, no, I think I'll still jump in the server. I just got to be more careful about what I do.
Yeah. Once again, like fighting vampire hunters in the middle of the day is not a good idea.
Well, and then like he almost killed me, and I ran away and like full re-healed, and then was like, well, I almost killed him. Let me try again. And then I almost killed him, and then he killed me.
Why is this game doing this? But that's been fun. So V Rising has been fun.
V Rising's been a blast.
Yeah.
Except for like 2 moments.
I watched the Orville New Horizons.
I still need
Another one.
I'm halfway through season 2, and then I'll be able to watch that. Rewatch. Or
It's also on Hulu, which I don't have anymore. So I've got to find a new Hulu source.
It was like broadcast Fox.
It was Fox, yes.
And now it is just streaming service Hulu. The last episode was April 2019.
I know, it's been forever.
Since season 2. But then the whole like Disney purchase thing happened. So this is like a 20th century television series, which is Disney's like Fox TV purchase from that. But they have a much larger budget now. Boy, do they have a much larger budget.
Did anybody not return?
Everyone in there seems...
that was at the end of 2 continued. All right.
Norm Macdonald is in there still.
Yep.
Because he had probably done all of his voice lines for the whole season over the last many years. But he is absolutely in the first episode. And they even start with a in memory of Norm Macdonald.
Nice.
Before anything. That's what you start the episode, boom, Norm Macdonald right there. Not at the end of the episode, right up fucking front.
Has anybody watched his new stand-up thing that's on
I
Netflix?
have started watching it, but I just watched the first couple minutes of it to kind of see what it was because it was super late last Sunday.
Sure.
And it's like him in front of his laptop, like reading into his laptop. Like filmed at home into his laptop off of it. Yeah. But, it's just more Norm Macdonald. I mean, half that special is also just like people interview it at the end to like just talk about Norm Macdonald.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like a whole thing. Yeah.
I'm going to just preemptively warn listeners at this point that there's not going to be a news or Kickstarter. We're going to banter and then we're going to get out of here because it's already been an hour and 11. And I'm going to bring up the fact that speaking of comedians doing shit at home on their own, Inside Out.
Inside Outtakes.
Yeah. So basically, like, if you thought that Inside was all that you were going to get from
Bo Burnham,
he then dropped an entire Netflix or YouTube thing. That's like another hour long.
A lot of B-sides and then that's outtakes and alternative stuff. Yeah.
Still put together in an incredible manner into a full hour long basically episode.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of other things that got released like as individual songs and things even outside of that that were...
There's now a whole deluxe edition album that has all of it on there.
And it's all just great stuff that like some of it I can't believe didn't make it into the Netflix special.
But the Netflix special was pretty long, so...
It was.
Which I just rewatched because I felt like I needed to rewatch it, but...
So I need the context of this.
Yeah.
But also, it's also worth rewatching.
It was more just because it was something worth... Like, while I was playing video games, it was something great to put on the side and just remind myself of.
I have not watched the Inside Outtakes yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Really?
What?
I have listened to the deluxe album, but I have not watched the Inside Outtakes.
One of my favorite moments, my favorite moment of the entire thing involves a black light.
Okay.
So.
Oh, see, so this is the problem is I didn't sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
I put it up on my phone with an earbud in while I was at work. So I would occasionally step away. I do not remember anything with a black light. So it must have been something that was happening like.
Yeah. Well, he was just like, yeah, this is fucking it. Like, and he's moving around. And then at one point he just starts going, oh no. What? Oh no.
I don't remember that at all. His like new version of like All Eyes on Me is fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Which, I mean, All Eyes on Me was already...
I mean, it's why he took like a year to do everything, because he probably had so much material that he needed to actually cut it all down.
Well, and he references that all the time in Inside Out. It's like, I've been doing this for like 8 months, 4 months, 6 months.
I thought it'd be done by now.
Yeah, I end it, and then I think of something more to add, and then more and more. Yeah.
And he does in Inside Out, talks about like...
Inside Outtakes.
Inside Outtakes.
Inside Out is a movie from Pixar.
I know, but context...
You'll also cry.
Yeah.
Also, yes.
You could barely make it an hour, Jeff, really?
I mean, I drink a lot.
You just heard him. He's an alcoholic, is what I just heard him say.
I mean, to be fair, there's nothing to be fair about. It's been an hour and 15 minutes since we hit record. It's been maybe an hour 30 since his last bathroom break.
Well, it's only been an hour and 1 minute since that thing has started.
Oh, so then it's been an hour 14 since I hit go on this, which he left beforehand. So
yes,
it's maybe an hour 20. That might be the all-time best Boyd first comment.
Yep.
Glad you could join us, Boyd.
When do you think you're going to be able to watch Obi-Wan with Megan?
Well, she's rapidly running out of time to be included in the watching of Obi-Wan. I will be watching it by the end of, I will have watched at least an episode or two by next Monday.
Okay.
There's just no way. I can't not watch it.
Yeah. Especially because it'll be easier and easier to get spoiled on shit.
Oh, yeah. By far.
Yeah.
And then just the Slack channel is moving rapidly enough these days that it gets harder and harder to go back and find the threads where everybody talks about something. And then when you go back to one of those our Slack threads of Obi-Wan episode 1 through 3, which is an entire different battle than I'm fighting.
I had asked,
you did
so I
one,
did 1
2,
and 2.
yeah.
I did 1 and 2 because it was only the first two we got.
That's right.
Yeah.
It just gets harder and harder to go back and find them. And then when you do, in your comment, you're like, holy shit, I just watched it. And blah, 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 blah. And everybody's like, yeah, we talked about that 2 weeks ago, dude.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Yep.
So, I'll definitely be watching, hopefully all of it by the end of this weekend, by the time we record again. But maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. So at least one.
I have to pee so much because I drink 5 of these during the workday, filled of Red Bull and vodka. So that's how I get my energy through the day.
Yeah. I mean, I drink at least a pot of coffee a day.
I only have 1 cup of coffee. It's that mug, but that's 30, I don't know how many ounces that is.
I mean, it can't be an
your giant Yeti mug.
No, it's a coffee mug.
This little handle.
It's one of those camper metal mugs.
I drink less now because my new job, you can't sit at your desk with a cup of coffee. There's a coffee station that's taped off. So you just have to stand there and
awkwardly
drink your coffee and then set it. Whereas I like to just sip periodically as I'm doing literally anything.
My coffee has to stay in the office area because the liquids aren't
too many ignition
allowed.
points. You already said that. Yeah.
Yeah. The propane fueled coffees we drink.
Yep. Just drink nitro coffee and
there you go.
Yeah.
Nitro cold brew.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think that's all I watched.
Yeah. I think so. I feel like there's another show I'm forgetting that is also out right now that is also driving me crazy, but
there's no way to know.
I can't.
I look forward to more Orville. It was the first episode of the new season was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Good to hear.
I've also really been enjoying Strange New Worlds from Star Trek, which is a prequel series. I mean, Star Trek Discovery was technically a prequel series when it started. Now it's not. But Strange New Worlds is Captain Pike.
Is it also animated?
No, it's live action.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Lower Decks was the animated one.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't know if...
In Star Trek Discovery Season 2, they brought the Enterprise in, and then they actually made a Enterprise bridge, and everyone was like, if they're putting in that much fucking effort into that bridge, they're definitely making a series, and now they have made a series.
And it's got Anson Mound as Pike, who was
Black Bolt.
Black Bolt. Sorry.
Oh God, no, we've spoiled.
No, it's He was Blackagar Boltagon from the Inhumans Marvel TV show. You remember that one from way back when, right?
I have not seen that.
Yeah, okay.
Neither did anyone else, which is why it was canceled.
Also because it was very bad.
Correct. Anson Mount has been in a couple things.
Yeah.
But he's very good in Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Okay.
It also has Marissa
Tomei?
No, not Marissa Tomei.
You started with Marissa, and I was like,
no. Mystique from the original X-Men movie.
Oh, Rebecca Romaine. Stamos still?
No, I don't know.
I
Not
think she's back to
Stamos.
Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's the first officer. Because the original pilot to Star Trek: The Original Series had Pike as the captain, and then William Shatner took over when the series actually started. But there was also a female first officer only in that pilot that was never seen. But Leonard Nimoy was still in there. And of course, because it's Star Trek, every little tiny detail from literally anything is absolutely canon. So this is like years previous. This is during Captain Pike's 5-year mission.
Gotcha.
But it's more episodic. It's more like kind of like World of the Day, Alien of the Week kind of situation, which is kind of what everyone was wanting from all of these new Star Trek series, which no one has gotten.
I know like some people do like Discovery and some of the other new ones, but there is obviously a lot of complaints.
All of them have to do with galaxy-destroying threats every season, and it's just like Star Trek doesn't need to be about the end of the fucking galaxy every season, which is what they've all been, which is why this is very refreshing.
Sure. Well, and I think like it's one of
Lower
those...
Decks is the same. It has more of a comedy tone to it, but it's not like we're saving the galaxy every week.
It's also like one of those things that like I think the conversation on it gets fucked because there's a certain amount of people who hate on the new shows for like, you know, oh, it's woke, it's inclusive, it's diverse or whatever. And like, and those people are obviously fucking stupid.
Yes.
But then because that becomes like that's what the criticism is. And like a lot of people just push back and are like, no, it's great. You can't criticize it for that stupid shit. And so then any legit criticism gets kind of lost in the middle of those two push pulls.
It's just like, I mean, Star Trek has always been like,
it's always been like
pushing politics.
Yeah.
And,
well, same thing with like X-Men. Like anybody who didn't get that X-Men was an allegory for like civil rights issues is fucking stupid. Like those have always been very progressive things, but that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. But Strange New Worlds is very good.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's about enough for today. It's been almost an hour and a half.
It's been an hour and 8 minutes.
See, because I'm looking at the stream time.
Yeah.
Which is an hour 20. Because we had the pre-show and the pre-show. Because now those are two separate things.
Yeah.
But wait, I'm gonna do news real quick.
Yeah.
You're just gonna go down?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Hot news.
Rapid news.
Hot news. BGG listed all of their Gencon hot list. You can go thumb those things. I don't know any of the games that are really at the top.
Blazin', I do remember.
You have to sort it by thumbs to find what the actual hotness is.
See, but then Blazin's not on top anymore.
Septima, I don't know what that is, but that's number one. Also,
I know Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raw 25th.
Terra Mystica from Capstone, because Capstone is the only publisher left anymore.
Right?
Oh shit, a Red Cathedral.
Yeah, there's a Red Cathedral expansion. Terra Mystica is getting Terra Nova, which is a more simplified version.
Yeah.
I've never played Terra Mystica, so I don't know. Hey, do you remember paying $300 for Catan 3D? But what if you wanted to pay $400 for the expansions that make Catan good?
So you want to spend $700? Okay.
I thankfully got it for half off on a Target deal.
Which is fucking crazy.
So I got it for $150. So fingers crossed, I'll find a $200 half off for the next one.
I would have $150.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it. But yeah, Knights and Cities, Cities and Knights and Seafarers are coming to the 3D expansion.
Yep. Seafarers give sheep a reason to be valuable.
Ooh. And then Star Realms has announced a legacy version that will be coming up on their next Kickstarter, which I had.
Was it Rise of the Empire or something?
Rise of Empire.
Not the Empire, just
no. But it will be a legacy game.
Disappointing.
I hope Empire is like just somebody's name. So it's just Rise of Empire.
There will be 3 new factions. Scavengers who they did do some previews that are like all of the like scrap mechanics of everything. The Kingdom, which is a militaristic monarchy, which borders the fledgling Star Empire, so I can only assume they're Star Empire-esque. And then this consortium, which is Trade Federation Star Empire. So maybe we've got like a blue, yellow, a yellow, and a red-esque. So, I don't know. There's 3 factions. There's only a video. There's no real details on anything. I guess Origins is going to have most of the details on that. But yeah, Star Realms Legacy, of course.
There we go.
That's what's next. And that's news. And there's no Kickstarters because we couldn't find. Hey, there's some board game tables on GameFound. They're like $1,300 or more.
One of them's a Rathskellers that is crazy. There's also a dog walking game on Kickstarter that Matt in Ohio is excited about that features little soft rubbery pieces of dog poop. But that I wasn't interested in.
Yeah.
There is a bit of listener feedback. Nothing in the emails, but over on YouTube, Deep Cut here, going back to our MHGG Experience Watch the Skies episode. So this was back in the days when we had like MHGG episode, blah, blah, blah. But then we also had like MHGG Review, MHGG Discuss. This was MHGG Experience. So we went and did a mega game of Watch the Skies. And then we had a whole episode where we just discussed that thing. It spawned like a year and a half of China #1 popular being a slogan here on the show.
Yes.
That has since died away. But we got a comment on that.
I believe that was because we invested in like media every
Yeah,
round.
and we were China.
Yeah.
So we very heavily made everybody love China, even though we did nothing.
I think that was like passive income for investment. So.
Well, and also is that we decided to stay behind and just become the world,
Which is what we did.
Yeah.
Like, a bunch of people left through a portal, and then China just took over the rest of the world.
Yep, it's all ours now.
Jeff drank, I believe, an entire case of Big Bad Baptist.
It was a lot of Baptist. It was that blue, like 32-ounce Yeti I had, and like each bottle fit into it, and I had probably 3 or 4, and then ate maybe 2 pieces of Domino's pizza for the entirety. I believe Megan drove me to the secondary location for the after party drinks.
The monkey place.
Monkey.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing too.
I unfortunately couldn't go to that. I had to start working at Lyft, or I had to do Lyft right after that. So
I was trashed.
Anyhow,
yes.
Anyways, we got a comment on that. I don't know if you guys check this video. Only because we get email notifications.
Yes, that's the only way we know.
But I've listened to the podcast version of this episode so many times the past couple years. It really helped me get through the missing of mega games. We're really lucky down here in Texas as we're about to have our first mega game in 2 years, Aegon's Conquest, which I assume Aegon is a major Game of Thrones character. So I'm assuming that might be a cool Game of Thrones-esque mega game.
I could see that. Yeah, that's when he first comes on. I mean, that's when he invades Westeros. Yeah.
There was another comment that we missed, and I don't know how we missed it back on that one. I hope this doesn't fucking autoplay. Okay, good, it didn't. There was another comment.
It still might, though.
Nope, we're good.
Okay.
So far,
there was another comment on here that we had somehow missed that was a month ago where somebody said, shame that Daniel said, shame that COVID thoroughly executed the mega games community. Can't wait to get involved once that gets started up again. And so, it was really cool getting like the couple hits back on that video from a long time ago. The video, which is just a podcast episode, March 8th, 2018, which was the day after my birthday in 2018. So that's, again, showing the dedication that this podcast has, that Zach released an episode that we recorded probably a week before my birthday.
Yes.
The day after my birthday. So,
yep.
Aegon's Quest could be up to 32 players, 8 factions, 4 players each.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. All with that original invasion of Westeros with the 7 kingdoms all warring against each other, and then the invasion of, dragons.
I mean, yes, please.
Yeah. Seriously. We might have to try and get a hold of some. Like, see, the problem is like I don't remember how we even found the Watch the Skies event here in Denver.
It was Bob.
They ran it.
Oh,
He helped run it.
Wonder if he still knows any of those mega games people. Maybe we can get a Aegon Conquest mega game going.
There's no way to know.
No way to know.
If only Bob was in chat right now.
Yeah, he's not this time. He sometimes drops in.
Yes, he does.
But that's going to be it for this episode.
Maybe the next MHCC with 30 plus people.
Force them to play.
You are forced to play this mega game.
I bet we wouldn't even have to force people.
Could be cool.
I bet we could maybe get people to sign up for that.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking. Now the wheels are turning. This fall
MH
fall
mega
MHCC.
game.
It's going to have its own Mile High's mega game. Nobody would ever want. Bob is here. Hey, Bob. I don't know how much of that you caught, Bob, but we're going to need to talk to you about your mega game friends and if they still exist in Denver.
Yes.
The
pilot light has been lit.
Yeah.
Gondor calls for aid.
Yeah,
See,
but I'd be fine forcing Boyd because he'd enjoy it and it'd be fine. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I've got to go make dinner for Megan. So,
and I have to eat dinner as well.
Yeah.
I already ate dinner.
If you want to get a hold of us, listen to one of our earlier episodes that has all of the contact information.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
That's one of the main ones.
Or join our Slack.
Or join our Slack channel, which you should be able to find a link to in your podcast app of choice where you are listening to this. If your podcast app does not support show notes and dynamic links,
use
get a better app.
Yeah.
Yep.
You listen with a bad app.
Yeah. And you're a bad person for using that app.
Yes.
I don't know if I go that far.
You'll be denied heaven if you keep that app.
But you should definitely join the Slack channel.
I saw a fun webcomic today that was like, welcome to heaven. Here's all of your dead pets. And it's like, wait, it's just my dogs. Where are the cats? Where are all the cats? And it's all the cats are just in hell dancing around.
Nice.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah.
As always, I've been your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I'm nesting Jeff.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.